In this video, we will review how Early Steps is funded and bills for services. This video is not a substitute for reading the insurance and billing documents that you will need to fill out. Please review them thoroughly with your service coordinator. Early Steps is available to everyone, regardless of income or insurance. Services are provided at no cost to families. Early Steps was established in Florida under Part C of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and is funded through federal and state funds. Early Steps is the payer of last resort. This means all available funding sources like private insurance or Medicaid should be billed for services before state or federal Part C funds are used. By allowing your insurance to be billed first, you're helping to extend Early Steps services to other families. Now, let's go over private insurance and Medicaid. If you have private insurance, watch the next chapter. If you have Medicaid, skip the next chapter for the appropriate information. If you have private insurance, here's what you need to know. You will not have to pay any fees out of pocket, such as co-payments, regardless of whether you choose to use your insurance. In order for your insurance to be billed, you must sign 2 consent forms. The first form is to allow or deny for Early Steps to bill your private insurance to pay for your child's early intervention services. The second form is to allow or deny consent to share personally identifiable information with your insurance company. Consent on both forms is required in order for Early Steps to bill your private insurance. You can withdraw your consent to bill your private insurance or share personally identifiable information at any time. Your child will still be able to participate in Early Steps and receive the services they need. Here are a few more things you should be aware of. If there is an increase in the frequency, length, duration, or intensity of your child's service, new consent forms must be provided for private insurance. If your insurance is billed, you may receive a letter from your insurance company and payment in the mail. If this happens, give these checks and paperwork to your local Early Steps office as soon as possible. If there are any changes to your insurance during your child's time in Early Steps, notify your service coordinator. And lastly, you will be responsible for the costs of any premiums or other potential long-term costs because of annual or lifetime health insurance coverage caps under your insurance policy. This includes situations such as loss of benefits. Please contact your private insurance company if you have any questions about your specific plan's coverage. If you have Medicaid, here's what you need to know. You will not have to pay anything out of pocket, and your child is not required to enroll or maintain enrollment in Medicaid to receive services. In order for Medicaid to be billed, you must sign 2 consent forms. The first form is to allow or deny for Early Steps to bill Medicaid to pay for your child's early intervention services. The second form is to allow or deny consent to share personally identifiable information with Medicaid. Consent on both forms is required in order for Early Steps to bill Medicaid. You can withdraw your consent to bill Medicaid at any time. Your child will still be able to participate in Early Steps and receive the services they need. And lastly, you should know that if your child has both private insurance and Medicaid, consent is needed to bill and share personally identifiable information with both your private insurance and Medicaid. Medicaid requires that private insurance be billed prior to Medicaid. Regardless of whether you have private insurance or Medicaid, you have the right to contest any fees that may be billed to you. You can find more information about this in the Summary of Family Rights. Your next step is to review and complete the insurance, billing, and consent forms. If you have any questions or concerns, please discuss them with your service coordinator or family resource specialist. Thank you. We look forward to partnering with you in your child's development journey.